we're back. So what I was saying is, when are you going to know? When are you going to accept and know and realize that there is no going back? You can't go backwards. When are you going to know and realize that every time you go back into shame, that's you choosing it? Every time you go back into victim, that's you choosing it. You have been brought to a higher level of frequency over the last 10 days. Again, whether today is your first day logging in or not, energetically, you've been in this space to be here today. When are you going to realize that every time you let a negative thought come in and you don't just go, shh, you're just choosing it? You're choosing shame. You're choosing victimhood. You're choosing lack. Every single person that's in my sphere right now, when they give me excuses, I realize that that's their choice. Like, that's, again, their choice as a sovereign. I can't force everyone at gunpoint to come and work with me. That would be really fucked, right? But I can tell you, as a master of energy, as someone who can walk into a room and read 50 people's energies in a nanosecond and figure out which one of the 2 people in this room of 50 I want to actually spend my time with, all of you guys have been coming to me in your dreams, coming to me in other ways, and you are literally, some of you are almost begging. Others aren't. I don't like the word beg because it really is so negative, but some of you really are begging. You're almost like that. A lot of you guys are in this energy of submissive, okay? You want to be the dom. You want to be able to take control. You want to be able to just like bitch slap your clients, tell them, you know what, you're not, stop playing small, but you're afraid to do that. So you're coming into my space as a submissive, wanting me to do that to you, but you're not willing to put your money where your mouth is, and that's why I probably trigger the hell out of you, or why you're able to nitpick at what I do, or find some bullshit reason why you don't like watching me. I literally am invisible to anyone who's not ready to work with me at a high level. I want you to understand this. I am invisible fucking visible to anyone whose vibrational frequency is below the level that I am at. So if you can see this video, if you can hear the words that are coming out of my mouth, then not my little 147 introductory package, like, that's visible to everyone, okay? That's a reason why people see me to begin with. But I can tell you that those of you who've been watching on a regular basis, those of you who are still watching after, 20 minutes and all this crazy tech issues, you are the ones who are vibrationally ready to jump. You are the ones who are vibrationally, completely and totally in alignment in your energy fields and in your physical field, because you've already said hell yes enough time physically that it's radiating into your emotional, energetic field. And the only field that's stopping you is your mental one. Just like those moms in labor, in transition, who are like, no, I can't do this. It's because their brain starts turning back on. Your human brain is not capable of actually processing the level of transformation that I take my clients through. It's the reason why I do vocal toning. I told you guys 2 days ago, I had a client that when I did her bespoke invocation, we did a clearing that cleared her entire lineage, forward and backward, through her womb. Completely cleansed it. And it's now her choice whether or not that cleansing sticks. But as of the moment that I was done vocally toning to her, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of lifetimes were completely alchemized into new, pure, neutral energy to then, so it's pure potential energy. I don't like the word neutral. So potential energy, like what you could potentially do, which is where so many of you are, like, you can think about it and you've got all this potential inside of you. Have had people tell you, oh, you've got so much potential. But what we do is we take the potential energy that's just like free floating, and we turn it into kinetic energy, which is the actual like action. So I get a lot of people telling me, oh yeah, I just need to take action. Or I don't need a coach right now because I know what I need to do. I just need to do it. Well, the reason why you need a mentor right now is because I'm going to sit here and blow fire at your ass. And that's different than blowing smoke up your ass. I promise that those are different. This is like, you know, in the old Western movies where they'd be like, dance, and they'd like shoot the guns at people's feet and make them jump. That's kind of what ends up happening, except for I'm not a bad guy who's trying to blow your foot off. I'm telling you, okay, you came into my container, you handed me all this money, you already said you know what to do, so go do it. Go prove it. And guess what? Most of my clients don't actually know what to do. Most of them don't actually realize what it's going to take for them to birth the baby because they don't believe they're worth it. So we end up working, and even though they, oh, I know that I'm worth it. I know that I'm meant to do great things. I know. No, you don't. You understand it, but you don't know it. There's a big difference. And the difference is embodiment. And embodiment comes in action. And action comes by doing terrifying things like jumping out of airplanes or pushing babies out of your vagina. Okay? Even all you guys. Although I do mostly work with mompreneurs. Like, I do mostly work with those moms who are fucking crazy. And even people who aren't like physically moms, they're usually those ones that have like 4 or 5 other little businesses, right? Like, or have a bunch of fur babies. But really, I'm about having it all and wanting it all, having your cake and eating it too, and not in the fucked up Marie Antoinette way where we don't share. Okay? I'm talking about bragging about the fact that I've quadrupled the amount of money that I've made, that I've had in my bank account in the last 11 days, and bragging about the fact that I've got multi-billionaires in my Rolodex, and bragging about all this stuff and being so grateful and thanking Goddess all day, every day, thanking my dragons all day, every day for what I have in my life, and still never resting on my laurels. Laurels. It's a hard word to say. Never thinking, well, this is it. Knowing that I can go to bed tonight thinking, oh yeah, this is it, this is a life, and tomorrow there's going to be another dream that's pushing me forward. And that's because, again, I know my blueprint. That's because I can close my eyes and see, well, the only way for me to get to the White House is by doing this. The only way to get to the White House is for me to come on here live for the last 10 days, 11 tomorrow, and sing to you. And probably look like a total fool to a lot of people, and yet know in my bones that I'm activating you. Activating that dragon lineage, activating your 5th dimensional blueprint, activating your crystalline DNA, activating your superpowers, your supernatural powers, the ability to ask for a cupcake. One of these days, guys, I'm going to use my cupcake analogy, and a cupcake's going to actually appear in my hand. I promise. It will. I know it will. It's coming. Because even lately, since I've been doing it, I can actually start feeling in my hand a little bit of like heaviness when I used to go like this and it's just like whatever. But now I can start feeling that like I want cupcake, and it's one day it's going to be there. So let's do the invocation. So again, I think most of you guys know what's going to happen, but I will close my eyes. We're going to actually transport to where the crystal was. So we're going to be doing a little bit of time travel. Make sure you're really grounded for this. It takes only less than 5 minutes to do these journeys. They are not giant journeys. They are not very long. Knowing that you are collapsing time. You are going back to the golden age of Atlantis. You're activating what needs to be activated. And when you come back, even if the clock has only moved 3 minutes, your timeline has accelerated by a minimum, oh, that's crazy, a minimum of 300 years, which is weird when we don't even live 300 years as humans, but that's what number just came into mind as I was explaining that. You are going to have the knowledge in you of 300 years, like 3 more lifetimes, essentially, if you think about a human. So go ahead, and it's going to bring back all of your old Atlantean knowledge, which we did used to live till about 500. Like, anyone ever wonder why Abraham lives to be 500 in the Bible and we don't do that anymore? It's because the Atlanteans were damn near immortal, and after the fall of Atlantis, we needed to put a better cap on it. So yeah, let's do this thing. Let's see where it takes us. So go ahead and close your eyes. Get comfortable wherever you're at. Ground into your body, whatever way works best for you to do that. Some people imagine roots. I like to imagine a dragon's tail coming out of the base of my spine and hooking down into hollow earth. And then the whole rest of my dragon body that I know already reaches infinitely through time and space helps me to find that point that I'm going towards. So we're going towards the golden age of Atlantis. We're traveling back and back, still rooted in our physical body here in this time and space, but our spirit is going now towards the golden age of Atlantis. See it in front of you, this gorgeous old town, like the old cities of Athens, Greece. Whenever I go to Atlantis, I always kind of imagine the movie Hercules, or even, I guess, Atlantis, right? I have kids. Everything goes back to a freaking Disney movie. But, you know, the white pillars and the gold, and there's crystals everywhere. In the age of Atlantis, we used to keep dragons as pets. So your dragon body was actually separated from your physical form. So even though it was your higher self, you kept your dragon body instead of the fifth dimensional like we do now, where we're kind of entangled. We would keep them separate from ourselves. And so while you're here in Atlantis, you might see dragons kind of not really on leashes, but don't be alarmed when you see them just flying around and walking next to their human counterparts, Atlantean counterparts, because they weren't quite fully human either. They were a different breed of humanoid, for sure. Well, we were, for those of us who were here during this time. Remembering that if you have ever had an Akashic record clearing where you were told that you were a Lemurian or Atlantean priest or priestess, we have now come back to that timeline. So you might even end up seeing yourself and your soul during that time while we go here. So now we've reached this giant golden temple in the middle of the city, and this is the temple of Poseidon, the god of water. I think I'm understanding now why the water horse came earlier, because we weren't even going to be able to get to this level had we not, water horse, water dragon, had we not done her clearing. And we needed the magenta dragon to hook us into our physical bodies, because going to Atlantis to get a dragon activation is really high octane. So for those of you who have done these before, please just know that this energy level is super high voltage right now, and it might be more intense than any of the other ones that you've experienced before. So go ahead, keep your eyes closed, see that beautiful, beautiful temple in front of you, and step into the temple. And immediately upon entering, you just see this ginormous freaking 10-story tall crystal. And the thing about this crystal specifically is that it shows up to whoever is witnessing it as the vibration of crystal that you are most needing right now. So some of you are seeing a giant citrine, some of you are seeing an amethyst, some of you are seeing a black diamond, others of you are witnessing it just as a giant chunk of gold. Some of you are seeing it as just clear quartz. So this crystal is going to be radiating to you the fullest blast of that crystal energy. So take note right now of what type of crystal you're seeing. Maybe you're seeing a black obsidian, a rose quartz. Some of you are seeing aventurine. Just really take stock. You can ask the crystal if it's the color, like maybe you don't really recognize it, ask it. Open your eyes long enough to write it down and then close your eyes again. Awesome. So now you'll witness coming around you from all four, there are 4 doors entering this great hall, and now all 4 doors have kind of gotten a little shadowed, and you notice it's because there are 4 golden Atlantean dragons entering, representing each of the elements, and they're beckoning you to go forward, and you are actually going to be merging with, this is so cool, I was not expecting this, we are going to be merging with this crystal. So during the course of this activation, you are going to witness your body yourself walking into that crystal, being held in space by these golden dragons. They're protecting you, these golden Atlantean dragons, and you are just going to end up being merged inside of that crystal, kind of swimming around. You can breathe, nothing like that, but uploading and reactivating all of the crystalline DNA in your body, all of the dragon codes, all of those things that have now been cleansed enough for you to receive this activation today. They are going to activate you. So go ahead and slowly start stepping towards the crystal, realizing that it's going to happen. It's either going to suck you in, or you're going to kind of fall in, or whatever happens, trusting it and knowing that you are being held in space by these 4 golden Atlantean dragons who are facilitating this as watch guards of the different elements, watch guards of the towers of the different elements. Here we have earth, air, water, fire, and then of course the crystal being ether. Ambrimiano viano gombia video. Amiamalaveano, Wevia Maria Beoro, Eabamiana Marea Barurama, Wemia Manabiara Vea. Baba. Hey, miani avio moria, amorio Cristo ibaravianovi, Cristo, Cristo e Sofia, Cristo, Cristo e Sofia. Oh. Slowly feel yourself separating from the crystal, your feet landing back down. You're being surrounded now by the 4 Atlantean dragons who are creating immense wind around you, and you're not quite sure if you should be scared, but you know to just trust. And what they're doing is actually blowing and activating any final activations, making sure that energy is really being swirled around inside of you, and also casting off any doubts, any fears, any worries, any questions. And as you experience this giant wind, you're going to be transported, almost like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, in this tornado. And when you are ready and landed back in your body, go ahead and open your eyes. Oh, hey, Melissa. And everyone on Instagram. Hello. Okay. This has been beautiful and delicious. Let me know if you have any questions. Sorry again, everyone in Facebook land, that you had to end up having a two-part there. Does anyone have anything that they want to share? That was one of the ones where I blacked out. I'm so confused. I don't know everything about dragons symbolizes. I don't know anything about what the dragons symbolize. Okay, so your dragon, oh, Christy. Your dragon is your higher self. So if you've heard of your higher self, then dragon is just another name. The dragon deck that I use is this deck. Dragons are elementals. Dragons are crystalline creatures. Everything was birthed from dragons. So the DNA of Kundalini, those are two dragons. They are source energy together. So when is it okay to get hungry? Yeah. Oyasumi, it's also like 3 a.m. where you are. Yes, getting hungry just means that your digestive system has turned on. You will maybe notice a little bit of purging after a big activation because all it's doing is, again, cleansing. So if your gut has a bunch of like leftover stuff in it that needs to be released, that's totally fine. Oh, yeah. So Kundalini, when you think about dragons, think about Kundalini. That's really helpful for a lot of people who have a Kundalini lineage. I can't really even put into words what I feel at this moment. Yes. Yes. Freaking love that so much. So remember, please remember that the feeling that you have after receiving the invocation is your natural state. Okay? The feeling that you have after receiving an invocation from me is the natural state of frequency. And anytime you drop below it, it's most likely a subconscious choice, but it's still a choice that you're making to go back to those lower vibrations. And at any minute, you can close your eyes, call upon your dragons, and boom, be back at that vibration. Okay? That is the real reason why my clients see the insane quantum flight changes in their life, is because I teach them how to do that. I teach you how to be able to very quickly embody your own soul frequency so that you don't need me to be singing to you all the time. And we turn all that on. So a lot of voice coaching happens, a lot of willpower, a lot of movement, a lot of bodies, a lot of hungry, my natural state. Voracious. Yeah, so go eat. With dragons, I always suggest a vegan meal. I couldn't tell you why, but they really love high nutrient dense, like highly nutrient packed meals is what is the most sustaining to keep this energy. Mostly, again, because your food has vibration too. So if you want to stay at this high vibe, you want to eat that higher vibration food instead of going and like warming up a Hot Pocket, right? I mean, if Hot Pocket's all you have and all you can afford, then go make your Hot Pocket. But if you can go and make yourself a delicious high nutrient based smoothie or something like that, then that's going to be a lot more sustaining to keep this energy level up. Christy, if you have questions about that, we're newly friended on Facebook, I believe. So go back and check some of my older posts, and not like super old, like September. And then this was day 10, so there are 9 previous days where I do go a lot more into like what dragons are and what their lineage is. So, and if you have any questions, you guys, you can always message me. I know that a lot of this information is really hard to digest, especially since, you know, I just haven't gone around writing the book on it yet. And channeling information is a whole new level because there's really no one to validate. There's no one really to validate what I know. I just know it. So Instagram, I'm about to lose you. That means it's been an hour. Facebook, I love you all, and I will talk to you very soon. If you're doing the mantra challenge, come jump into the Alchemic Ways Society. I'm going on there right now to do day 1 of 40 of Ganesh mantras. It's going to be fun. I'll see you all in there very soon.